guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zay and today I'm going to be sharing my April TBR. Okay, so full transparency, I have been in a book slump. I've just been on the struggle bus with reading lately, and there are so many new releases coming out that I've been anticipating, and I'm really hoping that April is a good month, like so many 5 stars, new favorite books. I am really looking forward to it because March was not a good reading month, and I'm not sure the order of when I'll post my videos as far as my March wrap up. If you'll see this before my wrap up, you probably will, and we'll talk about my March wrap up then because it's a bit of a mess. But I'm really hoping that April is going to be a good one. I feel good about it. There's so many good books, but I have high expectations for a lot of these books, and that comes expectations that I expect to be met. So we will see. I do have a lot of books on my TBR. Like, why am I doing this? I feel like I'm gonna read a lot of these though, so it's fine. So we're just going to get right into it. I'm looking at my list here. You see me looking over here, it's because my laptop with all of the books I want to read are on here. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so I want to start out with 2 books that are non-romances that I really want to read in April that are new releases. So we have Darling Girls by Sally Hapsworth, Hapsworth. So I've been wanting to read a book by this author for a really long time. I haven't read anything by her yet, and this is the time of the year when I really start to want to read thrillers. It becomes an interest to me, and I'm like craving like a good juicy thriller. You'll see me read a lot of these probably this summer. So in this book, we're following 3 girls who were adopted or fostered by this woman. Her name is, I think it's Miss Fairchild, and they live in this like idyllic farming estate, and you know, they've just been told that you guys are so lucky. You guys were kind of all got to stay together as a family. You know, the 3 sisters weren't separated, but things were not as they seemed, and Miss Fairchild had her ways. Okay, that's all I know. And anyway, the girls were able to kind of escape or get away from Miss Fairchild, but she was kind of always like around. Okay, she just kind of always lingered. Whether she was there physically or in their heads, I do not know. Now, I believe this is years later, a body is found under the home that they lived in for a period of time with Miss Fairchild, and now they are kind of thrust into this, I guess, investigation and the situation. So I don't know much about this. That's all I know about it. I'm really excited, and this comes out on April 28th. And from what I've heard about Sally Hapsworth is she does family dynamics, sister dynamics, and things like that very, very well. It seems like that's something that she really dives into in her books. Very excited to read a new to me thriller author, and I hope that she's a winner. Next one is Husbands by Holly Gramazio. This comes out April 2nd. So I saw one of my mutuals on Bookstagram post about this book. This is available as an ALC from Penguin Random House Audio and a part of the influencer program. And she was talking about how she was loving it and how this book has magical realism elements, which she really loves. And she said that if you like maybe Another Life, which, listen, I have not talked about Taylor Jenkins Reid a lot on my channel, but I have loved every book I've read by her. I have read all but like a couple books. Like her newest book, the tennis book, I haven't read that. And then she has another book that I haven't read. But I enjoy her book so much. I enjoy her writing and her storytelling. But I love maybe In Another Life. That is a book that I have always been like, I wish I could find something kind of like this, and there's just nothing that has filled that void for me. So when she said, if you like that book, you would be interested in this one, I was like, yes. And then she said, if you like the movie About Time, which that's one of my favorite movies of all time, that intrigued me even more. So I'm very excited to read this book. All I know about this is it's about a woman who, I believe this pretty sure this takes place in England. This woman comes home like from work or something, and there's this man in her apartment, and he says that he's her husband, and she's like, I don't have a husband. What is going on? And I don't know. It seems like there's this revolving door of husbands, and it's like connected to her attic. I've said several times I go into my books not knowing anything, and all I know is If You Like Maybe in Another Life and About Time, that this is a book that may interest you. So I'm excited for it. I want to know where are all these husbands coming from, and what does this mean, and what's happening? I want to know. So very excited, and I do believe that this is a debut book as well. Okay, so now let's get into some romance. While we're talking about non-romance books though, I read the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn. I have only read the first book in the series, but I am obsessed and I really want to marathon the series. So I will be reading as much as I can of that book, but there are so many new releases coming out and I am overwhelmed. So hopefully I can read more in that series this month, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, so now let's get into the romance releases. So the first book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This comes out April 2nd. So when this comes out, this book is probably already out. I'm so excited. This is my most anticipated release of the year. Like, I cannot wait to read this book. I absolutely loved Part of Your World and Yours Truly by her. And so since Part of Your World came out, her books back to back have been on my favorites list. So I'm really excited for this one. I don't know anything about it. Something about summer. I don't care. I'm going to read it and I hope it's really great and I hope I love it. I have heard excellent things. I do know Christy read it and I really trust Christy from Christy Reads Lots reviews, and she did not love it as much as Yours Truly. I don't know if she liked Part of Your World or not, but I know she loved Yours Truly. It was one of her favorite books of last year and I know she enjoyed it, but not as much as Yours Truly, so that does bring my expectations at a reasonable level because I do really respect Christy's reviews and we have a fairly the same taste when it comes to like contemporary romances and stuff. So I'm excited to read it. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. So I go into my favorite authors' books with really high expectations. I can't help not to, you know? But I'm going to be reading this one right when it comes out. And then we have Only and Forever by Chloe Lees. This comes out April 2nd as well. April 2nd is a very exciting release day. I feel this is so bittersweet because this is the last book in her Bergman Brothers series, which I read the second book right when it came out in 2020, and I have read all of them and I am gonna cry. Like, I'm not ready to say goodbye to this series. It means so much to a lot of us Bergman Brothers fans, and she is just such a fantastic author, and what she's done with this series is just honestly so amazing. And I love this family, and I'm not ready to say goodbye. I'm very emotional. I could probably cry talking about it, but I'm very excited for this book. This is a very anticipated brother, so I'm really excited for his story. I love this cover. It is honestly unbelievably beautiful, and I'm just really excited and sad because this is going to be it. But I'm ready to just read more from Chloe Lees and see what she has up her sleeves in the future. But the last book in the Bergman Brothers series is coming out April 2nd. And if you haven't read the Bergman Brothers series, then this is going to be a great time for you to marathon it and binge it, and I'm really jealous of you. Okay, next book is The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, and this comes out April 2nd as well. So I actually have an ALC of this book from Penguin Random House, so I can read this one anytime, but this book is in like the same world as the cheat sheet. I think it's the cheat sheet, the green cover. And it had, yeah, so I know the hero from that book is like a football player, and this follows one of his teammates, okay? This is a second chance romance. So our heroine is a sports agent, and she gets an opportunity to have her first client. And this first client just so happens to be her ex from college. She broke his heart. He is pissed off at her. And I think he gives her a pretty hard time, and he kind of sets some rules as to what the expectations are between them, and so does she. And so this kind of sets the tone for how things are going to be going for them in their working relationship. And of course, she doesn't want her boss to know. This is her first opportunity, and it's very hard for a woman to kind of be in this industry in general. So she's just trying to do her job and work as well as she can with him, but I think he's going to make it pretty hard for her. And these two are going to reconnect and yeah, have a second chance at love. So I'm excited to read this one. I'm really excited because this is a open door romance from Sarah Adams. And if you know anything about Sarah Adams, she writes closed door romances. Now, her most recent release before this one, Practice Makes Perfect, I felt like that one was high on the sexual tension, even though nothing happened on page. It was closed door. And so I felt like this is a natural kind of transition for her. And it sounds like she is going to write some open door, maybe some closed door. It's just going to kind of be up to her and what she wants to do. But I'm excited to read her first open door romance and kind of like see what her interpretation of that and what that looks like with her story. So I'm excited. I haven't always loved Sarah Adams. I've read 4 books by her. The first one I read, did not really like, but I have enjoyed the other ones. Practice Makes Perfect is my favorite though, so I'm hoping that I really love this one as well. So next we have Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This comes out April 9th. This is the first book in her new small town romance series. This is a single dad romance, a musician romance. I don't really know much about it, and I don't have to. I love this cover. I love the pink. And yeah, I'm excited. I have seen some really great reviews. I know that this follows the heroine's brother in Heartless. This is his story, which I do not remember him. So maybe that's not good. And I love Heartless. It's one of my favorite books. I don't remember her brother. Well, I kind of do. I kind of do. It's coming back to me now that I'm talking about it. But I'm excited for this one, and I'm nervous because I haven't loved a book by Elsie since Heartless. I liked Powerless. It was decent. I really did enjoy Reckless, but I had a lot of nitpicky things about Reckless, and then I did not like Hopeless. So I'm kind of nervous. But I did really like Reckless. I love Theo. And I like Winter. But I had some nitpicky things about the story. So I'm excited, but I'm really nervous at the same time. So I'm really hoping I love this series because I love Elsie, so I want to enjoy it. So fingers crossed, I really enjoy that book. So I have When I Think About You by Maya Ariel. This comes out April 16th. I want to say this is a debut novel. This is a Black romance. It's a second chance romance. Let me see what I can find about it. Okay, this says, in this sweeping second chance romance from debut author Maya Ariel, okay, I was right, the unexpected spark of 2 former flames may force them to choose between their dreams and each other. That sounds good. It sounds angsty. A lot of second chance romances have been coming out, and I am here for it. I think that it's time for us to all admit that second chance is the superior trope. Are you not ready for that conversation yet? Anyway, I'm excited, and I'm always excited to read a new-to-me author, a BIPOC author, and a debut as well. Then we have Midnight of Ashes by Tessa Hale that comes out April 19th. I'm going to be getting an ALC of this book, so I'm so excited. But this is her second book. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember the name of the series. The first book came out in January or February, and I loved it. It was my first Why Choose, and this is a book about dragons and shifters, and our heroine finds out that she is a shifter, and she has no idea. I like this, okay? It has 5 heroes, and I love the dynamic between her and all the men. They all have these fun tropes that I love, and I really like the relationships that were forming between them. Some are stronger than others. Obviously, that was just the first book. And I'm really excited. The audiobook was absolutely amazing. It has a full cast, and everything about it was amazing and just super fun. So I'm excited to read it. The first book ended on a cliffhanger, so you have to read the first book, okay? And I'm just really excited for what's to come in the series. Last book, actually, this is not the last book, but I'll tell you guys the other book that I forgot to write down in just a minute. The next book is King of Sloth by Anna Huang. This comes out April 30th. So this is the book in the Kings of Sin series. I have enjoyed this series. It is excellent, okay? I have really liked every single book. I think, yeah, I give the first book 5 stars, second book 4 stars, and the last book gets like 5 stars, but it's more like a 6-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. So I'm excited for this one. I don't know anything about it, so we're just going into it blind. I love the series. We're just continuing on in the series. Okay, so the book that I did not know that comes out this month, but I have been waiting for. So that is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. So this is a debut author. This is actually the screenwriter who is adapting Beach Read by Emily Henry. So everyone is really excited about this book, and honestly, I haven't heard this much hype over a book in quite a long time. Like, I just seeing everyone raving about this book on Instagram, and a lot of people are getting early reviews and early copies and our copies, and they've been raving about this book. Okay, actually I said that wrong. She is a screenwriter for People We Meet on Vacation, which I'm excited about because that is my least favorite book by Emily Henry, but I think it's going to be adapted very well. And then she's the director of Beach Read. So she's involved with both of Emily Henry's adaptations. That's all I know. Okay, that's the most important thing. Okay, this book sounds insane. I'm just going to read it. So Helen hasn't seen Grant Shepherd once in 13 years since the tragic accident that bound their lives together forever. Now a best-selling author, Helen pours everything into her career. She's even scored a coveted spot in the writer's room at the TV adaptation of her popular young adult novels. And if she can hide her imposter syndrome and overcome her writer's block, surely the rest of her life will fall into place too. LA is the fresh start that she needs. After all, no one knows her here. Except Grant has done everything in his power to move on from the past, including building a life across the country. And while the panic attacks have never quite gone away, he's well liked around town as a screenwriter. He knows he shouldn't have taken the job on Helen's show, but it will open doors to developing his own projects that he just can't pass up. Grant's exactly as Helen remembers him, charming, funny, popular, and lovable in ways that she's never been. And Helen's exactly as Grant remembers too, brilliant, beautiful, closed off, but working together is messy and electrifying, and Helen's parents, who have never forgiven Grant, have no idea he's in the picture at all. When secrets come to light, they must reckon with the fact that theirs was never meant to be any kind of love story. And yet, the key to making peace with the past and themselves might just lie in holding on to each other in the present. I need it. That sounds absolutely amazing. I'm really excited. I do know more because I saw a review and it doesn't say this on the back, so I'm not going to give anything away. But this book is pretty heavy and it does deal with some heavy stuff. And I do know what this secret is and like how Helen and Grant know each other and why her parents do not like him. And I'm like, this is insane. So I'm excited. I didn't know that was a spoiler, but I guess it was a little bit, so I'm not going to tell you guys. But this book deals with some heavy topics. Look up content warnings because I do think that it is a spoiler, but it does deal with something really heavy and I don't want to give it away. So this comes out April 9th, so very early on into the month, and I'm really excited. And it sounds like this author is taking what she knows, and I really like when writers do that. They write about what they know. I just think it makes the book personable and really good, you know, because they're writing from a place that they know and they're familiar with, and they have a lot of knowledge on. But I'm excited. So fingers crossed that this is a really great new favorite. Okay, so now let's just move into the other books that are non-new releases. Okay, so the next book is Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. So this book has actually been re-released. This is a debut novel by this author, and it was indie released, but it was picked up by Atria and it was recently re-released, which is very exciting. and some revisions and things have been made to the story, so it is just a little bit different. But I have been waiting impatiently for this book to come out on audio ever since I heard Tori from Novel Live talk about it, and I have just been very excited to read it. So I'm so excited. This is actually my current read. I'm listening to the audiobook right now, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping that it is a 5-star for me. The heroine is a figure skater, and she has a lot of responsibility on her plate. She takes care of her brothers. Her dad is a addict, and her mom left them a while ago, and so she's responsible for her family. And then she's also a figure skater, so she has that responsibility as well, and she's just keeping up with everything, trying her hardest to stay afloat. And then she meets our hero, who is a hockey player, but he was in an incident and he took a hard fall on the ice, and he has PTSD because of it. And the way that these two meet, well, they actually meet, and it's kind of funny, but the way they kind of connect is our hero is trying to get back on the ice, but he has a panic attack, and our heroine is there. It's really early in the morning. They're just trying to get in some skating before it kind of gets busy, and she actually helps him through and supports him through a panic attack. And that's kind of how these two connect and where their story kind of takes off and how it starts. So it's very emotional. We're dealing with some really heavy stuff, mental health, representation in this book, and both of our characters are going through a lot in their lives for such young people. So I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm just hoping that this is a winner for me because I need a winner. Okay, the next book is Unbreakable by Emma Scott. So I've heard of this book. I've seen the cover, but I didn't know what it was really about. And then I was talking to Nikki from Nikki and Bookland, and she was telling me about it. And she said it kind of is giving me Still Beating vibes. And if you say that, I'm going to read the book because I love Still Beating so much. So Unbreakable is about a woman who's a lawyer, and she goes into the bank and she meets this guy, and a robbery takes place. And our heroine is married. She's not married. She's engaged. And she connects with a hero. I guess they kind of help support each other and like keep each other safe. These two have to survive this robbery, and yeah, so I guess we get to experience that, and then I'm thinking we get to see them get out of this and survive it, and a lot happens. So obviously they connect over this very traumatizing experience, and they still have to go out and deal with their real, like I said, she's engaged, about to get married, and so I don't know if there's cheating. It kind of sounds like it. But I'm really excited to read this one. I love Emma Scott. I actually have another Emma Scott book on my list, and that is Sinner by Emma Scott. And this is a book I'm actually buddy reading with Avery. This is a paranormal romance. I'm excited, and I hope you really love it. The only book I own physically is The Problem with Dating by Brittany Cherry. So this book came out last year, and I just didn't get around to reading it. This is like a fall book. Okay, so this definitely reading this in the wrong season, but if I like it, this would be a book I recommend during the fall. Now Brittany Cherry has said that this is a rom-com. She said that about Holidays, her Christmas book that came out not last year but the year before that, and it was not a rom-com. So maybe this one is truly a rom-com. But let's see, I don't know too much about this. It just came out on audio, which is why I'm finally picking it up. But no, so fake dating, small town romance. The hero is grumpy, moves into the small town, and there we go. That sounds really cute. I didn't know all that, so I just had to stop there because I don't want to know everything. But that sounds really good. I'm excited. This cover is so cute. The cover was released for the second book in this series recently, and it is so cute. That one's blue, so I love the purple. That one's blue. So next we have Rope the Moon by Ava Hunter. This is the second book in her Runaway Ranch series, which is a small town cowboy romance series. This is a second chance romance, and our heroine reconnects with this person from her past, and she's actually pregnant with her ex-husband's baby. She's also on the run from him because he is abusive, and so they reconnect. And let me tell you that trope of the heroine being pregnant with not the hero's baby, I love. I need more of that trope. Next we have Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This is an arc. I have the arc of this book. This comes out in May, so I really need to read it. I love Tara's work, and I've had it on my Kindle forever, and it's time. It's time. I'm actually starting Rub the Moon soon, and after Rub the Moon, I think I'm gonna read Savor It. I don't plan on signing up for any arcs or anything, so really excited to read Tara's new book. I haven't read anything new by her in a long time, so I'm excited. And this one is like small town. I think our hero is a chef. I don't know anything else about it. I don't have to. She's literally one of my favorite authors of all time. So. And lastly, we have The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Claiborne. I've talked about this book a lot. I'm waiting for the audiobook to come out, but all I know about this is about these two sisters who go on like a road trip, and they're on a podcast trying to figure out what happened to their mother who disappeared a long time ago. That's all I know. I don't know who has a podcast. I know they're on a road trip with these two other guys, and I don't know if they have the podcast and they're joining them to help figure out what happened. So this kind of has like true crime elements, podcast elements. I want to read it on audio, so I'm excited. I love Kate Claiborne. She's one of my favorite writers, and this is very different than her past work, so I'm excited to read her new release. That's all for my April TBR. Very jam-packed, but I have a lot of options, so hopefully I will get out of my book slump. Make sure you guys are following me so that you guys will keep up with everything. I have some vlogs and stuff that I want to do this month, so stay tuned. You guys might see some of these books and some vlogs. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's see. I'm actually filming this on Easter out of the egg emoji if you've made it all the way to the end, because I'm filming this on Easter. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.